we were just talking off air. We're both of the opinion as this gets closer and closer to kick-off tomorrow, there are a whole bunch of ingredients about this game that we like less and less. Chief amongst them, Warren Gatland.
Yeah, Gatland. It's all about Gatland for me. Well, first of all, I think it's interesting that twice as many people think Italy are going to win the Six Nations than England, which maybe, I know.
I can't believe England got 2%. Get that down. What are you doing?
But yeah, it's Gatland. It's all about Gatland. And whether he will have an effect or not have an effect, there's just the expectation that he will, and that will become reality. So we talked about this earlier on very briefly, but he just has something about him. He can tap into something. There were years and years when Wales were winning Six Nations and Grand Slams, and we all thought that's not a side that should be winning Six Nations and Grand Slams. They always did better than they thought, and he has to be a big part of that. And him being back in there is just very, very, very worrying. It can be superstitious, but it's worrying.
No, it is. And in terms of game plan, the sense is that, well, because he had a certain brand of rugby, which was pretty direct, married to the fact he hasn't had much time with this team, that he will go for ultra-simplistic, ultra-physical, under-the-roof, emotional performance, and that's what's coming at Ireland tomorrow.
I think so, and I think it's the... yes, it's with ball in hand, pretty direct, Warren ball, potentially, but in defence, it's their resilience in defence, and I know it's pretty, Sean Embers in the past, but he seems to get this level of compliance from his players. They just buy into it. They get to their level of passion gets upped massively. They get into shapes in defence. They don't get broken down. They hang on, and they just become very, very difficult to beat. And Ireland will have to just be slightly more accurate, slightly more relentless, more clinical. And it's so much hinges in this, and again, there's so much attached to this as well. I mean, think 4 years ago, this is beating the All Blacks, world beaters in the autumn, and just the autumn to Six Nations, that first game of Six Nations. Again, could be superstitious, but think of what happened in the England game.